But up next for the sprint cars, heat number 2. Interesting to see how some of these young drivers, one out now, Adam Evans, how he can get his head around this. He's had a run out there tonight. As I said, Mark Evans, dad, usually at the wheel of this car. 98T, Hydrolink sponsored. Mark, part of the committee here at the Heavy Track Central Motor Speedway. Placemakers, 43T of Josh Buchanan's out next. And heading over the other side, Nigel Colvin, great one first up. John Sevright in the powder line, 14T's out next onto the track. Up next is the what we call the push and tow method of sprint cars. It's Jacob McIntyre being pushed out in the 87 car, being towed out. The car that left with a flat tyre last time in the form of the 88T, Steve Scholes. Out next, Jack Brown in the 57 car with the LS3 in it. Didn't go too badly last time out. Next out will be the 22T car, Smolenski. Another new one to this one. Again tonight we'll be getting some great drone footage. It'll be live streamed out to around the world. A big welcome to this live streaming coverage from the Heavy Track Central Motor Speedway, Cromwell, Central Otago, New Zealand. We're having a fantastic night of racing. As the sun falls a little bit lower, it might just affect these sprint cars more than anything else. So those front wings tend to cover the driver in a bit of a shadow. You can see them going there through turn number 2. The sun streaming in between the front of the wing and the body work on the bonnet. Just a couple now to be pushed away. Jack Brown, one of them down here in front of us, in front of the club rooms. Couple over the other side, Steve Scholes, Jacob McIntyre. You know, McIntyre can drive real fast around here. He's done it before. Apt it's not one of these winged warriors. As the 22 car gets pushed away now. As we said, April 10th, 4 p.m. War of the Wings final here at the Heavy Track Central Motor Speedway. That's Good Friday of Easter. Then on April the 12th, Easter Sunday, we have the season-ending Demolition Derby and Sprint Car King of Cromwell. And believe me, there'll be plenty of cars turning up for both of those nights. And if you are interested in being involved in a Demolition Derby, thought you could give it a go, looks like a bit of fun, get hold of the club, get yourself an entry, build yourself your weapon of choice to be out here to take out that Demolition Derby. And it's always a whole heap of fun. It is the last race of the year, of the season, so I should say, for this 2019-2020 season, April the 12th. 3 race meetings to go. 2 of them over Easter, 1 on March the 20th. Still plenty of opportunity to see all the action of what is the fastest family show on the planet. And arguably of the universe, I would say. You don't often get up this close to cars travelling at the speed And it makes it a great family night out and a family atmosphere we have going on here. Well, they've been given the original grid position board. And by the looks of things, as they're lining up on the far side of the track, just wait for a sec for a couple of these others to catch up. Severite's going to have to just weave his way through those newbies at the back, get himself up in position. He's getting the thumbs up, thumbs down. So Severite makes it through the pack. So what do we got? We got Sam O'Callaghan inside front row, outside Josh Buchanan. Then we're going to go back inside row 2 will be Jack Brown. Outside will be Jason Scott. Inside of row number 3 will be John Severite. Outside will be Nigel Colvin, the winner of the last heat. Then following them round in single file formation. Smolinski will come next. Then we'll go get to Stephen Scholes. Jacob McIntyre rounding out the back of the field in the 98T car in the form of Adam Evans. Travis making his way in the usual galanting glide he's got. Heading across to the concrete bunker into the safety. Green flags at the go. Green flag will drop this time past. Who's going to get the best run? It's O'Callaghan out on the front as they head down to turn number 1. Colvin has come off the back of that lot to be in 3rd position. Great run by Colvin. Jason Scott round the inside of Sam O'Callaghan. Take that, says the old dog. As they come through turn number 4. Jason Scott round the outside of 1. Sam O'Callaghan down the middle. Jason Scott's going to roll out in turn number 2. Settles for 2nd position. Then we'll go back to Colvin. He's about 8 back from the 2, fighting at the front. Josh Buchanan right behind him as they all come across the stripe for the 2nd time. Sam O'Callaghan, Scott. Then we'll go back to Colvin. Then we'll go to Josh Buchanan. Severite coming under fire now from young Jack Brown, although it's Jacob McIntyre who takes up that position. As Brown starts to slow, could be a problem again with a 57 car. As he heads down there to turn number 3, this could bring the yellows out. As he cruises around, is he going to get up to speed again? Nope, manages to make his way left and into the infield. So the 57 car back on the infield as O'Callaghan out in front, gaps Scott by about 8 or 9 car lengths. Then we'll go back about 6 to Colvin, another 6 to Josh Buchanan. As they start passing some of these newbie back markers who are having a whole lot of fun out there tonight. So Sam O'Callaghan out on the front, Jason Scott next, Colvin and Buchanan. That's the way it's staying at the moment. As they come round to collect lap number 6. And it's going to be all up to who can do the fastest lap. Oh, Severite, another beautiful donut over in front of the crowd out of turn number 2. Manages to get going again. Oh, Sam O'Callaghan, not sure what's going on here. Jason Scott's rounding them up in turn number 3 and 4. So a problem for O'Callaghan. He's going to send to the centre as well in the 49T Lakeland Glass entry. So Sam O'Callaghan had a commanding lead. He's parking it in the middle. So Jason Scott, he takes over the lead. Then when we go back to Colvin, then when we get back to Josh Buchanan, as they all head down towards 1 and 2 now, 8 laps down. So Scott doing a great job out in front at the moment. Again, another great race out there by Adam Evans in the 98 car. Oh, Severite, he's just loving that turn number 2. Gets it sideways and lined up again. And he'll rejoin the pack after venturing into the infield. So, let's have a look at it again. We've got Scott out in front. Then we've got Colvin. Then it's going to go back to Josh Buchanan. Adam Evans will be next. Then we'll go back to Severite's had a spin. I'd say it's going to be Jacob McIntyre. White flag will come out for Jason Scott as he goes across the stripe, comes across the back of one of his fleet in the form of Steve Scholes. Rolls out of it a little bit, gives the new guy some room, goes round him on turn number 3 on the outside. And we'll come to collect the checkered flag. Great win by Jason Scott. Then we'll go back to Colvin. Next will be the 43T of Buchanan. And then the 98T of Adam Evans. He's starting to wind the wick up on that. Great to see the young driver starting to get some confidence. Jacob McIntyre as well. Great job out there in that race. 12 laps done and run for the sprint cars. So a couple of cars in the middle. One of those is O'Callaghan's. He's going to have to see what the story is with that one. So that's the sprint cars. Heat number 2. So up next will be the Youth Mini Stocks Group B. 6-lap dash. That's the thing, you have so many of them here tonight. We've split them up. And then we're going to go back to the Youth Mini Stocks feature. They're going to do 10 laps later on, fourth from the end of tonight's proceedings. And just while we wait for those cars and some of the push trucks to come back out on the track, another good thing you can do to help us here at the Heavy Track Central Motor Speedway, if you've got any feedback you'd like to send in, whether it be good, bad or indifferent, we'd like to hear it all. Just jump on the Central Motor Speedway website, centralmotorspeedway.co.nz. Type it into your computer, fire the send button and let us hear it. And I was talking to a couple of the committee members the other day and they said they don't really get